Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wolf and I'm casting a game between Styze and KangasKhan, Steps of War. The fourth game out of 5, best of 5. Current score, Kanga with 2 versus Styze with 1. And so therefore if Kanga wins this game, then he will have won the best of 5. In case you didn't know. Styze needs to win this game and the next game to be able to win. Wins this game, we're going to see ace match. Personally, I like ace matches, except for when I'm playing in them. I want to beat everybody I play against like 2-0 or 4-0 or 3-0 because you don't actually play 4-0. That doesn't make any sense. Can't do worker split to save his life? Well, I never even split my workers. I just gave up on that. You know the F1 click method? My F1 button is the switch between monitor, which right here is the monitor, and down here, which you guys can't see. Actually, I'm pointing at it right now. Down here is my laptop. And so here's the monitor, laptop. See, he's lolling at it. If I click that button and I don't hold down the alternate button, whatever, if I misclick that, then I will lose the game. So that's why I don't F1 click. I don't do 3-3 splits either because I'll screw it up. And even if I don't, it's only 5 more minerals. Can make a difference. I saw a game where 1 mineral made the difference. Extractor trick. How do you do it? Extractor trick. 1 mineral can make the game. I just don't care enough to do it though. Whatever. It's all about being relaxed. My hands are still cold, but you know what? You guys' attention is warming me up and making me into a computer whore. I like being a whore on the internet. And so, this is funny as hell to me. If hell was funny, I guess. I like those expressions. I'll use them, then I'll sit there and think, it doesn't make sense. It's as cold as hell outside, if hell was as cold as it is outside. I assume the loser of the last game chose the map, and so therefore I believe Styze chose this map. His choices are interesting. I would expect to see another 4-gate, considering how well it can work if you do it well. If you do it well. That last time was just not, it was not very impressive, to be quite honest. But I won't spoil it. Also, quick note. Styze does not win the games or the tournament, and Kanga doesn't win the games or the tournament. It's not because I'm looking at him first, but I'm going to try to because I don't want to give away the solutions to who wins or anything. Protoss player will always go first, and then Zerg, and then Terran, because it's just how much I like them. And what was the other thing? I guess it's just really a Protoss up. For which toss goes first. If it's me, of course, it's going to be me, because I like myself the most. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit selfish, but kind of a realist as well. Ice Fang's got to go first. Pretty standard here for Mr. Red. Now, Kanga did something a little different here. Didn't expand yet, and there's a good reason for that. He scouted and saw not much is going on, but he doesn't feel safe, I assume, about expanding it. Of course, Steps of War, it can be very not safe to fast expand. Generally, fast expands... Oh, there's a drone running around. Generally, fast expands are pretty hard to protect, unless you do a 6-pool. 6-pooling into an expand, which sounds kind of lolzy, is actually somewhat effective on steps. But if you do a 15 expand and your opponent Protoss player goes gate, you're dead. I don't think there's anything you could do without, especially without canceling that expansion, to save your life. Although I guess if he canceled it, he'd pretty much be doing exactly what he wanted to do anyway, and just go back to normal life. Metabolic boost before expansion. Expand probably going to be near the 22 mark, which is pretty standard for a delayed hatchery for Zerg. Where the hell is that hatchery, boyo? Good work, boy. This is it. Expansion before the Zerg, and then he sees it. I think this is just lols as hell. Lols as hell. Another one of the expressions that make no sense. He chooses this map, knowing that Kanga has trouble with 4-gates. Perhaps he doesn't know. I guess he didn't use SCC. He chooses this map, and he doesn't go aggressive on it. He goes macro-wise. I mean, I'm going to have to agree with Husky on this one, for once. Generally, this map, despite its extremely small rush distance, has always ended up as a macro game with at least 2 to 2 bases. Generally 3 to 3 or 3 to 2. And so, I'm very pleased. He's most displeased at your apparent lack of progress. We shall redouble our efforts. I hope so, Commander, for your sake. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. Gonna get 2 more gates and a forge. I'm on a forge. There's the expand. That's hot to me. I'm sexually attracted to Styze right now. Styze, if you came to my house and asked me to sex you up, I totally would. There's that pylon. Not what I'm looking for, actually. I'm thinking it's going to be a cannon. I don't think he's going to be able to hold off against these roaches, actually. There's not too many, but there's not much going on here either. The shields, the big one. If Kanga attacked now before the shields could regenerate, then I think he actually would have just destroyed that. As it is, he just managed to get Warp Gate Tech. He'll be warping in 3 more units. The shields will be regenerated, and we'll be seeing a couple cannons going down. So any aggression that Kanga can do is actually null and void. Ray, huh. And so actually he wants to expand. I'm surprised he hasn't expanded yet, so he's actually behind. I keep saying so he is, but whatever. I've been casting games for at least an hour now. It's almost 4 o'clock now. So whatever. I can make mistakes and be lolsy at times. Assimilations successful. Just 8 roaches. This would still lose to 8 roaches at this time. But now that the 2 cannons are getting done, that's definitely it. You can quote me on this. I don't think there's any way that these 8 roaches can bust up the ramp. There's the expansion. Very delayed in comparison to where most Zergs like to be. Especially compared to the Nexus. This is already booming. I mean, the expansion just went down for Mr. Zergy Kanga. I'm going to change my position. Changing positions. I want to get a little more comfortable. Why is that serious? There we go. Here comes the push. Quick note, guys. I'm gonna have to point this out. Look at these when they shoot. They look like they're kind of just jamming out. They're like boom, boom, boom. Force field's going down. I actually did do some damage there. When roaches are pushed back like that, they take a moment to just kind of like out of their minds. And then, of course, with our excellent 6, that's what it is. 6 range stalkers versus 4 now, not 3. We are actually able to use the force field effectively, especially with the 7, or is it 6? It's 7, yeah. 7 photon cannon range, so the force field usage there was nice. Able to push back the roaches, not allowing them to do any damage. So, like I've said before, sentries and their good usage can kind of accommodate for a weakness in your army. If you go zealot heavy, then your zealots are going to get shot to death while there's no stalkers doing damage to them. And so therefore, if you use guard and shield to help protect your zealots, then they can do more damage, like if stalkers were there. If you use force field well and you don't have enough zealots, then you'll have zealots with force field and your stalkers are able to do damage, especially due to their nice 6 range. So that's why I like sentries. They're cool. I do wish they were still called nullifiers, and they still look like nullifiers, because, come on guys, admit it, nullifiers are awesome. Sentries are kind of like, hee, how you doing? How you doing, guys? You want to be friends? Okay. That's what sentries sound like in my mind. Stalkers sound like, take a seat over there. Are you an internet predator? Even though they're the stalker. And zealots always, you know, my life for hire. They have that old voice going on there. Even though when I played Brood War, the only thing I did was mass zealots with speed. That's what all I would do. I'd play BGH and just mass stalk. I'd mass with speed. So whatever. Don't have to make any sense. I like this. Creep. It's like I gave him advice on replay 2, I think it was. And now he's doing it. It's so awesome when I give advice to the people of the past. Perhaps I watched all of the replays in advance and wasted many hours watching them. I don't like watching replays before I cast them because it's too much time. I have a lot of replays right now, guys. I haven't been casting very well. I do have a pretty cool one, though, that apparently is holding off the 4 gate. And I want to take a look at that later. So maybe I can give some Zerg some ideas. Maybe it can force me to not use the 4 gate. Dang, that's awesome looking. It's weird. There we go. Get out of the way, Overlord. Get your slow ass out of here. I forgot this. I'm sorry. Oh, Stargate. Right in the nick of time. So, that's weird. Gets an observer over here. Sees what's going on. Gets his Stargate. Oh, he canceled it, I think. Thankfully. That Stargate would have actually killed him. So, very wise, my friend Styze. +1 weapons is done. Kind of just gating it up right now. Thoughts, comments. Why is Styze behind right now? What is he doing wrong right here? I'll give you a hint. Starts with a Z, should be right here. If you said Zealot, then you're absolutely right. Buildup of minerals Chrono Boost and lack of Zealots are things you should be like, ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. I like that phrase now. The Chrono Boosting out 8 Zealots would make his macro great. And of course, he would need a couple Pylons too. 2 Pylons, 8 Zealots. His army looks wonderful. He's macro failing none. And then he can attack and expand. Good. Don't forget Chrono Boost, guys. It's great. It is sexy-licious. I just noticed something. A Warp Gate has half the HP of a Nexus? That just seems a little wrong. I guess a Pylon actually has 40% of it, too. No, wait. No, it doesn't. It has 20%. Derpity derp. Derp. It's 400 versus 2,000, yeah, so that would be 20. Is it? Yeah, 20. I'm sorry. It's as cold as Ice Fang in here. You know what's weird? I have an aptitude for fire. I like to see things burn, and I like to use a flamethrower attachment COD. I don't like cold very much, and I don't like icy conditions on the road, but I still like my nickname. Crazy? I think so. Third expand going down. Third base, I guess. Whatever. Doesn't have to make sense. Third base going down from Mr. Kanga. Good Overlord placement, as I said before. There's one thing about this base I would suggest doing all Zerg players, especially if you've got speed for your Overlords, and he does not. Usually, he has done it in the past. He's actually getting it right now, so thank you, Kanga, for proving my point. Using your Overlord to spread creep right here is extremely effective, because even after your Overlord has to move, you can still delay that expansion by a good 20 seconds or so while the creep recedes. Don't forget to use creep offensively too, guys. Creep is an important part of Zerg, and definitely one of the most important things about word I'm looking for, macro. We're going to see Twilight Council here, and a lot of gateways. It's the macro failage there. So expansion, +1 armor, has +1 weapons right now. Twilight Council, you're going to see more upgrades, or Blink Charge, High Templar, Dark Templar. I love you, Psionic Tech Path. You're just so special. 3 upgrades that almost nobody gets. If only they'd move the Warp Gate research to like Forge or something, then you'd... Excuse me. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten so much chicken before I casted this. My grandma came over, and she took my... It was kind of funny what she said on the phone. Ooh, gonna see all these gateways going on. She said, I got 2 cartons of orange juice, 1 gallon of milk, and I'll trade them to you for your dirty laundry. And I said, that's a deal. I'll do that any day. And then, of course, she actually brought me a whole chicken as well. And I didn't eat the whole thing. Oh, man. Boom, headshot. But I did eat a good section of it. And so there's a lot of chicken dinner in me. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Not enough zealots. Bleh. Look at that. Bleh. Could somebody write a comment below about how cool zealots are, please? Whoever does it first, I will say your name in the next cast. I promise. Oh, you guys are forgetting something. If you guys didn't know, I'd be surprised if you actually noticed this, because I put it like the most obscure spot ever. But I said if you send me a replay and ask me a Q&A question, I will answer that. 1 question per replay, just for fun. And don't send me like just shitty replays all the time with a question. If you really want to ask me a question, you can ask me on SCC. It's not like I'm Husky and I never answer you guys when you ask me questions. Last thing Husky said, October 12th. When can I expect a Siberian Husky sidekick? What the hell does that even mean? What the hell? You like exhorting animals? That's messed up. I'm just screwing with you guys though. Man, look at these Overlords. They're cool. Like, they just remind me of Star Wars, you know? Messing up in the middle of the map. Pretty scary going on here. I'm kind of getting back into the game. I really blacked out Star Wars land there. So we got a Spire going down. Expecting Corruptors. Corruptors are the unit to fight Colossus. I actually feel like they're the most useless unit in the game next to motherships, because they only deal with capital ships. They do deal with capital ships well, but how often do you see battlecruisers and carriers and broodlords? Yeah. And then the one thing they do deal with, though, is Colossus. If it wasn't for them, then pretty much every Protoss would go robotics and just Colossus rape / 4-gate rape Zerg players. And that's what we wanted to see. Some zealots. You are beautiful. I need another forge. That would actually probably help. He's getting another forge and kind of getting his Jamon Lee on that. Big mistake here by Kanga. He sees there's Colossus. There's only 2, gonna be 3, and he makes 9 Corruptors. Now, those 9 Corruptors will quickly deal with the Colossus, but cost for cost, you're spending way too... And there's +1 air weapons, too. I don't even know how that does against Protoss. I can't... Because it's just so uncommon to see it factor a large role in a Corruptor. Like, Corruptors... Geez, that's so weird looking. Dun dun. Dee dee dee. There's that penis I was talking about. That's a little penis. That's a vagina. The strands are actually holding the penis in place so that nothing goes on. Both players macroing up. Big difference, though, I could say, is... names escape me. Styze. He's got the gold. He's not getting gas here. That's a big mistake. I mean, he's got so many more minerals right now compared to his gas because he has nobody on gas over here. He's got everybody on gold minerals, so he actually needs to move them over right away. Goes through this expansion, probably going to move to take it out. Might luck out. I kind of like how he's using his zealots here. I don't think he's going to be able to take out the expansion, especially if the drones start repairing it. But he will be forcing the entire army out of position. I really like that. Just spending 7 zealots lives. I mean, sorry guys, you're cool, but that's your job is to die, to be honest. Even if they manage to snipe the hatchery, that will be huge. I don't think there's enough. No, but that did make the hatchery extremely weak. They take forever to heal, and so actually flying over there, or like walking with the Colossus. I guess they can't really walk up that, but you know, moving over just units, taking it out real fast and falling back. Blink, heck, 150, 150 at this point in the game. Blink up, shoot, blink back, down a base, the big one too. I mean, the expand is still looking pretty healthy. The base down here is not, though, of course. Getting +3? 2. I wasn't sure. +2 weapons. Has +1 armor right now. No shields. Not very common to see shields. They're just they're not as good as. It's just not as good as armor. Armor's cooler. A lot of Corruptors there. Getting less Colossus will probably help him out. Getting more Immortals would probably be more effective. Getting more Zealots. See what I mean? More Zealots is really important there. Definitely missing Chrono Boost and guys on gas. You got... Oh, man, that's really bad. You have to make sure you got guys on gas. If you see this up here, you probably have something wrong with one of your geysers. Go check it out. Unless you like warping in High Templar, Colossus, and Motherships, then odds are you probably have fairly even amounts going on here. Just make sure to check your gases if you got gas problems, like I do. Just kidding. If you got Vespene gas problems as Protoss, you probably want to check your assimilators. If you got problems as Zerg, you might want to check your extractors. Dangerous. There's not much you can say about this. I just cannot get the names today. If Red Protoss decides to counter push into the base, that's it. There's no way a Zerg is going to win a base race, especially after destroying all those production facilities. And he's moving his entire army over here to the gold expansion, which realistically, although he cannot see the whole thing, is not what you want to do for this. So the big thing right here, his Overseer, not important. Corruptors, they are horribly out of position. I mean, of course, they'll deal with these Colossus quite easily. 9-4, they're just going to get destroyed. But the fact of the matter is, Corruptors are actually pretty slow. 2.95, and so by the time they even get down here, his Kanga's army's out of position, fights half of it down here, I guess a third sort of, third of it down here. Now although the Zealots are all here in the middle, no Guardian Shield being used, it's just too small of an army versus a much bigger one. And now he's getting the reinforcements, the rest of the army is bunching up together, but he lost too much in that first attack. And now the Corruptors are finally joining in the fray. They'll be able to deal with these Colossus easy, see? There's nothing going on there. Those Colossus are so freaking boned. But the fact of the matter is, he just has no ground army left. He should actually just turn around and fight, which he's doing. See that magical advice I give in the past? And Corruptors are good. You have to make sure you have a good amount of them, and you have enough to deal with the Colossus. I probably think about 1-to-1 ratio, maybe 1.2 ratio to Colossus. But I mean, there's just too many Corruptors here. He's got all 9 left. They're not doing anything. And now the Zealots are finally in the front, taking the damage. No Guardian Shield, no Force Fields, not needed. Man, they make weird dying noises. That's kind of screwed up. They sound like they're giant floating brains. Make another dying noise. Overseers make funny dying noises, at least. Man, those poor Corruptors. Kill one. I guess they just only scream. Maybe that was a zealot I heard. Kind of sound like a zealot. So, hatchery is still looking not too hot. I have to say, I think Styze wins this game. I've been not watching them preload, but something tells me that Styze is going to win. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the entire army. We do have a lot of roaches here. Unfortunately, they're just kind of walking past the zealots. You don't want roaches to be up against zealots, like physically next to them. Otherwise, they could have a lot of difficulty with it. The big thing that roaches have, especially early game, is on creep. They can kite. I don't think there's enough going on here. There's just too many stalkers, too much of that damage over damage action. There's guardian shield if needed, force field if needed, enough zealots to tank some damage, and of course, a couple of immortals wailing away. Pretty cool. And yeah, warping in 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 stalkers. There are 7 stalkers. 2 more immortals. Good job staying on his macro overall while attacking Kanga. I would agree with, except for he had a lot. And I think he's actually missing mana. Yeah, he's trying to morph in another army right now. These stalkers reinforcing here, I think it's just going to be too much. I think Kanga's lost too much at this point in the game. And then he makes some more corruptors. That's no, you have too many corruptors. They just kind of die. The one thing I can say for corruptors is that they can be used effectively here. You don't want any right now. They're not completely worthless though. You can actually use them to use corruption on the immortals. Will be effective, and they can actually take damage. If you have them in front taking the damage, they have 2 armor. They move pretty fast for just floating around in space. So, I mean, when it comes down to like air-to-air battles, they're not fast at all. But when it comes down to like being in front of your army taking damage, compare them to like zealots. There's a G from Kangas. So we are going to be seeing an ace match. My favorite. Is this game over? Yes, it is. It just ended right now. And everybody else will leave with a click of the finger. Yes. Yeah, that was awesome. Ace match about to come in my pants. A sneak, a sneak.